Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a great weekend. And if you want to start finding your place, we'll be in the ninth chapter of the book of Acts, the 31st verse. And while you're doing that, if you'd like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, whatever format it is you're listening, watching today, I appreciate it. And then we're going to take, and we're just going to look at one verse today because it's a great, great verse for the church today. In verse 31, it says this: So the church throughout all Judea and Galilee and Samaria had peace, pay attention to that, was being built up, number two, and walking in the fear of the Lord, number three. And in the comfort of the Holy Spirit, it multiplied. And so there are four elements here that we need to address. We need to move kind of quickly. Maybe you want to go back and spend some time studying on your own. But the first thing we notice, some of the characteristics of the church, what it should look like, what it should be. Number one, it says the church was at peace or at rest that time, and the word in the original language is an active word, which means it was in a continuous state of rest. It had been through a very difficult time, but now it is at peace. The idea is that here that the believers were rejoicing, they were celebrating, they were resting in the peace and the deliverance from God. Even though there had been persecution, God had prevailed, and now they were living and enjoying the peace that God had provided for them. And so, first thing we see about the church is that they were at peace. The second thing we see is that it was being built up, being strengthened. We often see the word in the New Testament edified. Is the word, and it simply means that they were growing spiritually. They were being strengthened. They were confirming the faith. Again, the word is a continuous action word. It means that it was continually going on. They were continuing to grow spiritually. That may be one of the greatest lessons for the church in this verse for believers, is that continuous growth. It seems that from my observation, from my vantage point, that many times as believers age, as they get older, they get to the point where they relax, where they think, well, I've come as far as I need to go. No, what we see here with these believers is that they continued to be built up. They continued to grow in their faith, in their walk with Christ. As the next statement says, walking in the fear of the Lord and in the comfort of the Holy Spirit. They were, again, simply means they were living in the fear of the Lord. They were trusting Him. They were worshiping Him. They were obeying Him. They were following His commandments, His word, and they were being witnesses of the transformation that He had performed in their life. That He was working in them. And finally, it says it multiplied. What a simple statement for describing what the church should be doing, multiplying. And for those of you, again, remember your math skills. When you multiply, multiplication adds up much faster than addition. And so they were multiplying, they were growing, they were adding to their number. People were coming to know Christ because of the first three things, I believe, because they were at peace, they were resting in God, they were growing spiritually, they were building each other up, and they were being obedient and walking in the fear of the Lord. And because of that, they were seeing their numbers multiplied. And so, there are all kinds of books written today and all kinds of conferences and seminars and speakers talking about the church, what the church could be doing, should be doing, what it ought to look like. For me, this one verse pretty much sums it up. We don't need a conference to tell us this verse. Verse says they were trusting, they were at peace, they were resting in the Lord, they were growing in their faith and helping others to grow in their faith. They were trusting and obeying, walking in the fear of the Lord and the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And when that happened, they multiplied. And I guess the question that we can, or the logical response we can make to that is if our churches today are not multiplying, then we work backwards and say, where are we missing it? Are we failing to walk in the fear of the Lord and obeying the Holy Spirit? Are we failing to trust in the Lord? Are we failing to grow spiritually and help others grow spiritually? Because we see when those things happened here in this church, it multiplied. Something to think about. Have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.